Hello, hello, it's Debbie here. I've got a bunch of plates in front of me. I had a request the other day from a customer to show our Blossom series, the Floral Blossom series. So it's 4 plates. Here's all 4. There's the first one is $2.79, so this guy over here. And then we have $2.80. All the cards here. 81 and 82. So all sorts of different blossoms, all sorts of different backgrounds for you to use behind your blossoms. So let's put a few of these together because I know that that's the struggle, is trying to pick colors to layer up your flowers. So it takes a little bit of practice, but once you play with it a little bit, you'll probably get what will end up being your favorites. And then you'll just reach for similar stuff each time. Adjust a little bit as you go, of course, and play as you get a little bit more confident with what you're putting together. What goes where here? Actually, let's take all of these guys to the side with our cards. I always like to keep my cards close because they are really good for giving you a little bit of guidance. If nothing else, in just looking and saying, okay, well, we've got 3 different tones here of a similar color. So we've got 3 different oranges. Okay, well, maybe I want to do a pink. So grab 3 different pinks. And then you can use this as your guide to see, okay, we did, or maybe this is a better example. We did a medium color, a little bit darker color, a little bit darker color even, and then light. So like a highlight. So this particular one has 4 colors in this rose. And a couple, actually this one just has 1 color of green. That I'd probably do a marble to get a couple of different colors of green in there. But this is a really great guide, the step-by-step, for the levels of tone that you want when you're picking colors. Let's go ahead and do one. Actually, let's do one on that plate. Which plate was this? That's this guy. Right here, and let's zoom right in. Give a little tip here. Let's see how that goes. All right, so which one do we want to do first? Why don't we go ahead and do that one that I just showed? This guy right here. Let's find him on the plate. So that is, just looking at the leaves, because that's going to tell me most about what we're looking for here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So I'm looking for this image. Where the heck is it? Looks like this is it. Right here? No, maybe not. Oh, there it is. Right down here. Hiding down at the bottom. So it's important, grab your plate and orient yourself a little bit. I have not done this image before, so let's do it together. So what are we looking for? We found our leaves. So then we know that this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Might do the leaves at the end, or might start with them. Let's start with them. Let's do it in the order that the girls have done here for our spec sheet. Well, let's start pulling some colors. So for green, I really like, okay, remember, you're focused in, Deb, so over here. All right, 226 is what I'm gonna use for green. You can grab anything. You could do a couple different colors and marble it. Why don't we do that just for fun? I'm gonna grab 44, Sassy Monster. Not sure the name of this guy. Something mossy, I'm guessing. So I'm just gonna do 3 little dots and 3 little dots to get a little bit of a mixture going there. And then I'm gonna scrape a couple of times, get those blended a bit together. Don't waste too much time. Roll over that as quickly as you can. You don't want it to dry on the plate and not be able to lift that up. Okay, so let's go right in the middle of this guy so that we can see. Leaves are down. First step out of Well, we've got 4 more steps. So 5 steps. We got this. All right, I'm gonna refer back to my card again. So keeping it handy. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4 colors or 4 shades of the same color. So let's go ahead and pick similar stuff to this. Similar peaches. So what have we got? That is 86. Let's see if we like that guy. This looks a little darker. Oh, maybe too pink. Let's find something with a little bit more orange like that. 136. I like that. And then let's find some that are a bit lighter. 234. That goes nicely. And then I want something even lighter. So let's go to number 68. So you can see there behind me, all of those colors lined up. Let's see how they go together now to build this guy over here. All right, so I'm going to start with my, not the darkest, so the third darkest color, okay? And then we're gonna get progressively darker with our next 2 layers. So those are essentially gonna be our shadows. And then at the end, we're gonna come with this super light one and do our highlights. So again, looking at the card, this first layer with just basically the bases of these 3 flowers, roses, they are going to go, I'm gonna aim this one right down here in the middle of that flower down here. And then everything else should kind of line up like so. Now, because we're not outlining this, you don't need to worry too much about where you're putting those down, right? If you're outlining it and you need to orient with your greenery and your flowers, then you have to be a little bit more careful. But in this instance, we are not outlining, so we don't need to fuss with that too much. Okay, so this mid color one is just gonna go in the center of our biggest bloom here at the bottom. So I'm lifting that up. Roll over quick, nothing else to clean up. That's kind of nice. And we're just gonna pop that guy right in the center of that particular bloom. Okay, now we're gonna go to the darker one. So we're crawling up our card here. I can pick it up. So now we're at this stage. So these guys are gonna go in the middle of each of these flowers. We'll go ahead and make sure it's stirred up. There we go. Okay, and then our highlights, it looks like, are gonna be very similar, where we've got a little bit going in the center of each of those flowers. So really light when I roll over top. I give it one scrape, roll over top, and immediately lift. Okay, so let's aim, I'm aiming at that top guy and the other 2 to make sure they get a little bit of color. Look at this already coming together. Isn't that pretty? And now we're gonna go with the lightest one for our final little highlights. And that was number 68. A must-have for every collection. This is such a pretty color. Such a pretty pinky peach. Give that a little clean off there on my sticky pad. You can tell with this stamper I've been using it to do tips, and we've split the jelly in a few places. Okay, so again, I'm gonna look at the one that's up top because I wanna make sure that I get him in place, and then just adjust the other 2 below to make sure that they're getting some color too, and give it a push. And there you have an absolutely beautiful cluster of roses ready to go. Really pretty. Okay, so that was CjS 279. There's a ton more on this plate. Really pretty stuff. These little violets are absolutely gorgeous too. It's a really fun one. Why don't we do that one too? And we'll do it in a similar color. These colors we've already pulled out. Okay, so let's start with the third color. We're gonna need a yellow if we're gonna do these exactly the same. So let's grab our yellow now. I'm gonna stay to kind of a little bit richer colors here. 135 in the middle here. Okay. So we'll do this guy first. Pull this down just a little bit. Are we still going to be in frame? Yes, we will. Okay, good. And we'll lift up that first little blossom. Let's continue here with popping these on this direction. So without my nails this way, we're putting them on this way. You gotta be consistent if you want to keep track of what you're doing. Okay, so the next color we have on the card is showing yellow right here. And then we're gonna go a little bit darker, and then with the green, we're gonna lift the really dark. Let's see if I can, well, I don't wanna necessarily trip over that when we go to grab our greens here. We are pretty zoomed in. Okay, so we've got the first color down. Now we're gonna do the yellow. And I'm looking on my card to see where that yellow is gonna go down. And it's gonna go just to the side of the one I already have down. Clean up our extra. Okay, and we're going just to the side over here. Like so-ish. Okay, and now we've got this mid color. And it's gonna go kind of on top of the one that we just laid down. So it's almost like it's giving it multiple colors. So it's not just one, it's not just yellow. This one will have pretty little kind of orange details on those petals. Like that. So giving it a little bit more depth. All right, now this last one I'm gonna do with the darkest color. I gotta close that guy back up. So that was 136 again. I'll list all these, of course, down below so that you can follow along with what colors we're using. Now this one I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put the green up above, and then we're going to scrape sideways so that we don't mix those two together, but so that we can lift them with one scrape. Oops. That's what happens when you don't push hard enough. Okay, let's go one more time. Give that a little clean off because now there's going to be colors in there. Get that cleaned off. Let's clean off our scraper. Okay, one more time. That's what happens when I try and scrape and not get my arm in the way of the camera. Extra little challenges here. Okay, I'll come around behind. Give a nice hard scrape, a nice light roll. And now we've got all those little details again. Clean up the little extra bits so we don't end up with them all over our cute little image. Okay, now this is going to basically go around that first image that we put down, and it's going to give that guy more color and then pop that greenery right in behind of this little cluster. How simple is that? So when you think about all the different color combinations you could do to make this guy your own, the sheer colors would be really pretty to play with over top of the bases. So if you did a yellow and then did a sheer so that it's a little bit more watercolor looking, not quite as stark, the contrast between the color that you're putting over top of the base and the base. So that's pretty. Okay, this is CjS 279. So let's go on to another one and play with the flowers on there. And which is this guy? This is 282. Which one is 282? Oh, the purplies. 282. So a whole bunch of different kinds of flowers. I know somebody was looking for hydrangea the other day. I don't know that we have exactly a hydrangea, but there are so many different flowers on here. In fact, we should figure out what they are so that we could list them for people. But there's some that look hydrangea-ish-esque. I use the word ish and esque a lot, don't I? Okay, so which one of these do we want to do? Maybe we want to find that one. So that guy is right here. And we've got, let's flip it over. Is it part of the, what's on the back? It sure is. So we've got the green and then a few different purples. And this looks like a little bit of an aqua color that we finished off with to give some details. So why don't we go ahead and pick those, and we'll stay with what's on the card so that you can see kind of how to pick those out. Let's move these guys back a little bit. And we'll bring out the purples. Okay. I think that's a good one, 78. And these guys get a little bit more of the purpley pinky almost. So 91 looks really good. And then we want a really dark one. I think 170 would be nice. Let's try that. And then we need something that's a little more kind of aqua. And do we want to go fully aqua or more greeny aqua? Let's go more greeny aqua. Yeah, that's a little too limey, I think. What about that guy? Let's try that guy. Okay, so what is our green going to be? Let's keep with this same green here. I think that goes nicely together with that one. And this is 226, the same kind of green we've been using on the other flowers. So let's put one on my pointer finger so that we can see. Make sure we're still in frame here a little bit. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is our green. Nice scrape, light roll. Okay, and we're going to pop that down on our pointer finger here. I'm just going to go right in the middle again. Got a little bit of a background going on in that, on that pointer finger. Okay, now we're gonna go to the lighter of the purples. Do I like this purple? Oh, I feel like we could maybe do something with the tones that would be a little bit better with those guys. Nah, let's stick with this one. Go with your instincts. We'll go with our initial instinct. And that one was definitely speaking to me, so. And what number is he? 78. Okay, and here comes the scrape, light roll. You know what? Because I tried to do that without moving my polishes, I've got a whole bunch of little voids on there. Might look okay on the nail as a flower, you know, because the petals all have kind of different depths of tone, but in order to get a proper lift, let's do it one more time. Make sure that's dry. Don't want any of that plate cleaner in there, making that difficult to get a good lift. And I'm gonna go up with that polish application because I'm gonna come down with my scrape, and then I'm gonna go to the left to right with my lift. And it's much better. Still have a few little voids there, but we're not gonna worry about those too much. Okay, so where does the green sit? The green for this one kind of sits inside. So I'm gonna aim for this little spot down here because I know that that's gonna go with this little bud. And the other ones just kind of line up as you pop that one little bud on the left there down. The other ones line up pretty nicely. When you hold that over top with your clear stamper, you really can see where things are supposed to go. And, you know, just take your time. Take your time. Sometimes you have to do it twice to get the right placement, but don't panic. It's just polish. You'll get it. Half the fun of doing it is figuring out how it goes. Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to look at the two buds. There's one bud kind of down at the bottom and another bud that's up above it. And then I know where those go. See, it's these two buds that I'm looking at. That one down below and this one up above. Once you get those lined up, everything just kind of goes click. Oh gosh, maybe we shouldn't have done purple. Look how it's just kind of disappearing onto that purple background. Silly rabbit. Okay, darkest one. Let's see if this is gonna punch it up for us. That first layer though, pretty similar to my background. Light little roll over top. All right. And same thing, I'm gonna look at those two buds. And get those down over top. Look at the depth coming into those. Yeah, I like this color. The color combination's working pretty nicely. Okay, the last one are these 4 little green bits here that are going to highlight our greenery. That's my assumption. Could be the centers. Let's see. When we hold it over top, it could be the centers of our florals too here that it's going to add to. Yep, it is. That's going into these petals here. There's one on the edge. Like so. And there we go. The florals are coming together. These 4 plates are so much fun. There's so many different blossoms, as I said, on all of these plates to give you variety to create those bouquets of beautiful flowers. And then, of course, like I say, there's some background stuff too to really punch them up and make them fun. All right, well, there's a few ideas for you for these blossom plates. We used today 282 and where's the other one? Oh, over here, 279. So those are the two that we played with in this video. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask below. If there's anything you want to see a live on or see a video on, please let us know in the comments below. We really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.